We came to Devon in 1979 with our children, basically to escape city life and to hopefully enjoy a much more creative existence in the countryside. And came across this place down on the River Dart, Coombe as it's now called. It's a kind of poem to friendship in a way. The whole concept of Coombe is about how we develop friendships in strange places, and it seems, well, it's continued from that time in 1979 to now, 40 years later. You know, what is the function of a painter? I mean, why? You are a painter if you're a painter. You're not anything else. It's what sustains you. And other people respect, respond, or dismiss according to their lights. That doesn't matter to the artist. That's immaterial. At the end of the day, doing it is what matters. Themes related to dreams, actually. I mean, for example, I have recurring themes involving the moon and the sun, and rain and wind, which are, very fundamental to, the kind of place we live. The sun and the moon, in particular, affect us. Without the sun breaking out each morning, God, it would be scary. And its setting, of course, is extremely spectacular on occasion. I have sometimes painted the same scene over and over and over again because I always see something new in it. If I shut my eyes, I can constantly see it. What you put into it matters immensely in the sense that it's a piece of you, very much a part of your reaction to the world around you. And that's why I'm sustained by nature and nature's way of going about things. It excites me, it stirs me. Storms, wind, sunlight, moonlight, waves on beaches, trees rolling in the landscape. Nature gives me a gift. My receiving it and doing something with it is my gift. Type of thing. The thing to do is to be open, just be receptive, and take in as much as nature can throw at you, and you just respond. One of my favourite subjects is water. We have a stream that runs right through the place, and this particular stream runs out to the beautiful River Dart, which subsequently runs into the sea. And it's a kind of constant in my life. The stream, in effect, winds round the Coombe, and it draws in fresh thoughts, and then it drifts around, wraps and envelops the Coombe, and then takes away any of the sort of bad vibes. And in fact, when you're sat overlooking the stream, you sense it. What I've learnt is that when you paint water in its different stages, you're seeing water in motion, you're seeing it intimately, you're seeing through it to the pebbles beneath. It has a sort of animated feel. So when you're painting it, you're trying to paint this see-through, this rippling, this bubbling effervescence of a stream. When it comes down to a creek, it becomes much stiller, and it pauses with it between the tides, and so you're aware of its reflective nature. And you can start to see this, what is originally a raindrop, start to expand until you literally, as I say, get to the sea, and it's roaring, it's huge, and it's vast, and it's tidal, and you should develop a respect for it as a consequence. When you see it as, so, for example, a solid mass like a sea or as a cloud, you probably can't relate the fact that that cloud is that sea. But once you are in tune with it, then you are aware of the fact that that cloud is a sea. The plant is an extraordinary organism. You see tiniest little flower growing up through concrete, pushing its way. I mean, it's just awesome. They're extraordinary creatures. If you think about flowers, they're rooted to the ground, and yet they twist and turn, move with the sun. They invade each other. Flowers aren't just soppy things. They are powerful creatures. And for that reason, I like to try and paint that power. What you're doing at the end of the day is condensing nature. You're fitting it in, and you're displaying it and saying, look, that's my reflection on nature. That's as powerful as I can make it. You have to understand that painting is a sensual process. When I'm painting, I'm in a state of ecstasy sometimes, and I'm almost laughing at myself doing it, because it's a performance as much as anything else. And with a piece of work, at the end of the day, doesn't really matter so much as, from the artist's point of view, the actual process of painting it. The process of painting it is the joy, is the pain sometimes. The object of itself is a gift, if you like, but by and large, as an object, it no longer matters to the painter. Not this one, anyway. When I teach, most of the time, I teach by example, i.e. I paint in front of students. I never saw that happen when I was at art college. You never saw a tutor paint. Whereas for me, when I watched my parents painting and their friends, and fellow artists painting, I used to think it was some kind of magic they were performing. I couldn't work out how on earth they could get, a flat piece of paper or canvas and create a three-dimensional image in it. And I wanted to learn that magic. It looks incredibly magical when you just do a sort of flick of the wrist and this petal or leaf leaps out. One of the drawbacks of being an artist, a painter in particular, is you're never still. Whatever you're looking or wherever you're walking, you want to somehow pin it down. The actual recording process is a spiritual interlinking process with nature. You're feeding your brain with it. And so we all look with different kinds of eyes. It's awesome to think that one's senses can create pictures in that way. Some people are very poetic. Some people love flowers. Some people love landscapes. Some people love moods. Some people love horror. Whatever it is that turns you on, go with it. As an artist, you can do anything you like. It doesn't matter. Nobody's opinion matters at all. The only person you're going to have to satisfy is yourself and maybe your mum at the end of the day.